How's it going, everyone? Weston here with GoWesty, and today we're going to go over the power window relocation kit. Part number GW-PWR-REL. Before starting the install, be sure to disconnect both the main and auxiliary batteries. Start by removing the driver and passenger side door panels. Starting with the driver's door, locate the black wire with the red tracer and the solid brown wires. These are the wires that came off the power window switch. Cut these wires as close to the connector as possible. Sometimes these wires might be very tight. Removing the pins from the connector will give you the most amount of slack to work with. Strip the ends off both of these wires and join them together. And attach the provided female insulated spade connector. Now do the same process to the yellow with the black tracer and solid yellow wires. Then use the provided male spade connector and crimp it onto the wires. Find the connector with the solid black and solid red wires. Cut the red and black wires individually. Strip the solid red wire and crimp on the provided insulated male connector. Then strip the solid black wire and crimp on the provided insulated female connector. Plug the female connector with the solid black wire into the male connector that has the yellow with the black tracer and solid yellow wires. Then plug the male connector with the solid red wire onto the female connector that has the black with the red tracer and solid brown wires. For proper installation, reference the diagram that's shown on screen right now. Tie up the wires and tuck them out of the way so that when operating the window, it will not bind. Leave the driver's side door panel off for now and move on to the passenger side. If you have not yet, uninstall the glove box and passenger side door panel. Locate this connector shown here. Then cut, as close to the connector, the solid yellow wire and yellow wire with the black tracer. Strip the ends and join them together. Then crimp one of the provided insulated male connectors to them. Cut the remaining brown wire of the connector. Before we move forward though, we'll need to run the additional provided ground wire. To do this, we need to remove the door wiring loom. Start by disconnecting all the connectors found behind the glove box. Then shove them through this hole, removing the loom and all connectors. We need to run the provided ground wire through this door loom. To make running the wire easier, I like to take a coat hanger and put a loop on both ends. One loop for going in so it doesn't snag on the rubber boot or wires. The other end to hold the wire and make sure it goes smoothly without also catching anything. Once you get the coat hanger started, you'll need to reach your hand into the door where the loom is located and find the wire and pull it through. Pull the wire through and route it in a way that gives you just enough slack to attach it to the previously cut brown wire. Strip both ends, twist them together, and crimp on the female connector. Find the connector with the solid black and the solid red or solid yellow wire. Cut them individually as close to the connector as possible. Strip the yellow or red wire and crimp on the provided male insulated spade connector. Then strip the black wire and crimp on the female insulated spade connector. Plug the black wire into the two yellow wires. Then connect the red or solid yellow wire to the two solid brown wires. For proper installation, reference the diagram that's shown on screen right now. Tuck and tie the wires up and out of the way so they don't get caught by the window when it moves up and down. Find the other end of the plug that had the yellow, black, yellow, and brown wires. Cut the brown wire on the plug as close to the connector as possible. Then cut the previously ran brown wire to the same length. Strip the end of both, twist them together, and attach the provided male connector. Cut the two remaining wires and join them together with the provided female connector. Reinstall the loom, pulling each individual connector through one by one. Leave the wires disconnected for now and move over to the fuse panel. Uninstall the one Phillips screw holding the fuse panel in and drop it down. With the fuse panel lowered and out of the way, locate the driver's side door loom. Locate the plug that has the yellow, black, yellow, and black with a red tracer. The other end of this plug is no longer needed. Tuck it up out of the way. And repeat the same process as you did on the passenger side. These wires specifically don't have a lot of slack. A pair of pliers may need to be used to hold them tight. Take the yellow, black, and solid yellow wires and join them together with a female spade connector. Coming from the driver's side door loom, there's going to be a single brown wire. This brown wire goes up and attaches to the ground tree. Remove that brown wire, be certain that it is the correct brown wire, cut the end off, strip it, and join it with the black and red tracer wire. Uninstall the lower heater cover. Take both your switches and uninstall the rubber cover, then unscrew the nut. For this step, you can install the switches wherever you'd like. At GoWesty, we like the location that centers it between the air ducts. We feel it is easily accessible and a very clean look. I like to take some blue masking tape and find my lines. With the general location marked, use the switch itself to find the vertical center. The switch will be cradled behind this panel, so be sure to get the positioning true. I like to take a white towel or some magnets to catch the metal shavings. Start by drilling a 1/8 inch pilot hole, then work your way up to a 31/64 inch hole. When doing work like this, it's very important to note, measure twice, cut once. Don't drill into the heater box, and definitely don't drill the holes too big in the dash. Install both switches, leaving the nut semi-loose so that the switch can move. Don't tighten the switches just yet so that you can figure out the wire length. Loosely install the switches, making sure to leave enough slack for the orientation of the switches to be changed if necessary. Here at GoWesty, we like the switches to function up and down. Because of this, we run the wires down and then over to each respective door. Starting with the passenger side, take the yellow and blue wires and run them over to the passenger side door. Make sure to route these wires in a clean way that will not interfere with the heater box flaps. Then take the red and black wires from the passenger side switch and all the wires from the driver's side switch and route it over to the driver's side door. On the front of the fuse panel, in the top left corner, there is a 4-pin relay next to a fuse type 20 amp circuit breaker. Remove this relay and, using a picker terminal removal tool, release the red wire in the number 30 position. It's the leftmost position. You will not be reusing this relay. For convenience, removing this relay allows you to operate the windows with the vehicle off. With the pin removed, cut the wire and strip the end. Then attach one of the provided female insulated spade connectors to the wire. Take the red wires from each of the switches and cut them to an appropriate length. Then strip both ends, twist them together, and attach the provided male insulated connector. Now plug the 2 red wires from the switch into the 1 wire from the relay. Next, take the 2 black wires from the switches and run them up towards the ground tree. Cut off any excess wire, strip the ends, and crimp on the provided female insulated spade connector. Then install on an open terminal on the ground tree. Now, cut the yellow and blue wires to the appropriate length, take the yellow wire, strip the end off, and attach a provided male insulated spade connector. Next, strip the blue wire and crimp on the provided female connector. The yellow wire with the male connector gets connected to the yellow, black, and solid yellow wires. The solid blue wire with the female connector gets connected to the black, red, and solid brown wires. Repeat the same step with the yellow and blue wires for the passenger side. If for some reason the window operation is in reverse, the yellow or blue wires may need to be swapped. Additional connectors are provided to do so. If everything operates properly as it should and the wires are cut to the correct length, tighten the nut using a pair of pliers. Once the nut is tightened all the way down, reinstall the rubber cover. With the switches totally installed, reinstall the lower heater box cover. If you didn't opt to purchase new door panels, or simply don't want to install cup holders under the door panels, you can disregard this section. The kit does provide 2 cup holders for installation on the door panels to cover the existing power window switch holes. With the door panel still uninstalled, line the cup holder up as such. Take the provided screws and install 4 of them. With all 4 screws installed, flip the panel over and take the provided 10 fasteners and thread them onto each screw. Then take a pair of pliers and your drill or screwdriver and tighten up the clips so that they are flush against the wood paneling. Reinstall your door panels and you're all set. Thank you for following along today, and we'll see you on the next one.